Jesus is the reason. Jesus is the reason. Jesus is the reason.
For the season.
Sorry.
All right.
Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Coffee, Cash, and Christ. We are your hosts, Eddie and Tia Crockett, and we want to welcome you again to this table where every pour is rich with faith, legacy, and alignment.
And
alignment.
Y'all, today we want to just jump in here and we want to talk about not blowing the bag, right? Not blowing the bag.
Not blowing the bag. You got to budget the vision before you blow the bag.
That's what you got to do.
That's what you got to do.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
And so we're going to dig into that. This is a VIP season.
Yeah.
Y'all know that.
Yeah.
It's a VIP season.
Yeah.
Last week we talked to y'all just a smidgen about the dark side of purpose. That dark side of your journey.
Okay, going through the
And one of the parts is that imposter syndrome that you can get. And we're talking about that dark side of purpose and sliding into this, it is like blowing your bag that you're supposed to be using for the vision because you're making holiday choices and buying gifts and things for people that you don't even like. They're not going to see you no more after the holiday party, okay? But we'll blow that bag, right? Even for kids that all year long, you know, you had to beat them every time they got you don't beat people on the internet nowadays. Never mind. You had to get with these jits every time with these interim reports, but now they deserve the world during Christmas.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? So, and it's our emotions. It's the things that we run into. And so we want to dive into that idea today of making sure that the vision is before us at times like this.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so I think kind of diving into it, I think one of the first things we want to talk about is how emotional spending can sabotage vision.
And it will.
And and one of the things I love about our household is that we can look at it from both sides. And so coming into this season where you could be dealing with loss or grieving or some type of huge changes throughout the year. Maybe you've had a bad year financially and you're dreading coming into this season because it's like, you know, your norm may be all the glitz, glams, and groceries. Come on, somebody.
Glitz, glam, and groceries. I say glitz, glam, and groceries.
Glitz,
I said
glam, and groceries. I say,
honey. Okay, we got to get it together.
Watch out, man. Come on.
But seriously, like you said, coming into that season, we're gonna call it the holiday trap.
Wow. Yeah.
The holiday trap.
Holiday trap.
Y'all remember that movie? But we're gonna call this little season right here that we're going to the holiday trap because it's a trap to think that the only way that you can have a joyous time in this season is to just blow the bag. And it's another trap to think that the way that you're supposed to ease your emotions is by buying. There are several ways to celebrate that don't have to do with blowing the bag. But you're supposed to be, we ask God for provision for our vision. And then when he gives us provision, we go and do stuff like spend so much money that we got to use Afterpay and look, and we got to we have to do all of the things. Back in the day, it wasn't no Afterpay and Klarna. It was
layaway.
Layaway. Hello, Kmart.
Kmart.
Hello, KB Toy Stores.
Montgomery Ward.
Hello. And so
we're old.
When you say we, you mean thee, right? Okay then. But no, we got to just make sure that during this season that we're not buying out of emotion. We're not buying out of obligation. But we are looking to walk in diligence even in this season.
Yeah.
Even in this season.
Yeah.
Because diligence, when we think of diligence with the resources that God has given us, diligence starts with discipline.
Yeah.
Not with desire.
Correct. And you have to be careful not to unravel a year's worth of discipline because of a month's worth of desire. And it's like to posture yourself going into it, right? It's very much so possible for you to budget what you want to do and, you know, have all your fun and your parties and the gifts. But just be mindful. Like don't just get rid of everything.
Yeah. For
a temporary situation.
Because it's not even just in the area of money.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna sit around here and eat red velvet cake every day in December, like come on, like let's just narrow it down to just when you go to parties.
I'm talking about
let's narrow it down.
You gonna drop 50 pounds over the year, but then you gain 22 back.
32
in 30 days.
32 in 30 days.
Oh my God.
And so like you can't sit around here every day and trade in the water that you start drinking for coquito every day.
My God.
You can't do it.
Wait.
You can't do it.
I mean,
somebody put in the comments, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't
do it. Okay? And so one of the ways for us to keep our our vision or whatever in our mind on the vision is we have to put vision before us.
Yeah.
Vision has to be put before us.
Stay before you.
And so now when you the Bible talks about writing the vision, making it plain, so those who read it, they can see it and they can run with it. Sometimes you're the one who needs to read it, see it, and run with it.
Times.
You might know it up here, but you got to be intentional and diligent about remembering the vision that's going to still be in place after those 30 days or after those 60 days of holiday season, right? And so putting that vision in front of us, it puts us in a position where now when we are spending, because Eddie, you know that we gets happy when the weather change. I don't know where y'all at. Put where you're at, where you're watching from in the comments. But we're coming to you from sunny, beautiful Florida.
Central Florida.
And in Central Florida, we get like 5 days of winter.
Okay.
And they don't even be stuck together. They be like 2 days here, then the next day is 90, then 3 weeks later we get 2 days again.
And then a half day in
January. So
you got our boots on your ground.
In February we might get to put our boots on the ground one time for Black History Month. Okay. And so with that being said, we might get this cheerful feeling about us, but we gotta remember after this is all done, the vision and the provision that God has given us so that we don't blow the bag. You've been saving money in order to, let's say you need to buy certain programs for your company. Let's say you need to get ready to pay some employees with your company. Let's say update
education you want.
We at the beginning of the year now, after these holidays, and it's time to update your certification. And now you can't even update your certification. Now you run around talking about, let me go sell some plates.
So I can get my serve safe.
So I can get my come on. We don't have to always grind. It's not always feast or famine, but we create those cycles of feast or famine with our habits, not keeping the vision before us.
Correct. And that vision before you will help keep in mind the things you need to do in terms of reinvesting those dollars back into your business so that you can see exponential growth in the year coming. And that's the blessing that you're after, right? Having a little delayed gratification so that you can experience the bigger reward on the back end. So just be mindful, all right? That you don't allow emotional spending to sabotage the vision. Don't unravel all the great things you've done this year because you're trying to celebrate or you're experiencing emotions that have kind of, come up out of nowhere.
And one of the crazy things also, and I know that you're big on this, is here's another holiday trap.
Yeah.
The first one we talking about is emotion, but that second holiday trap is validation.
Ooh.
Validation. Spending for validation. And sometimes you got to understand that the validation isn't always because you're worried about what other people think.
Correct.
People who have evolved and gone to a certain place in themselves, here's what's crazy.
Yeah. validation.
You get to a place where you trying to prove something to yourself.
Okay, make sure I ain't crazy. This is real. Pitch me.
It's
make sure.
You know, and so now you want to make sure I made it.
Man,
I have the money in the bank.
Okay,
I am reaching my goals.
Yeah, I can do this for me and mine, and we can.
And it's out of pocket.
Yeah.
You don't know what's coming in the next season, but God does.
Correct.
And if He placed excess in your lap,
let me tell you something.
you still need to let Him tell you
something.
what to do with it.
Because if you don't, make sure that you are hyper aware and still keeping a diligent ear for and paying attention to what the Lord is saying. Listen, you're gonna find yourself unraveling, right? Unravel in the next season because you didn't do what you needed to do in your now season, and that's a big deal. We've talked about that before, so I ain't gonna get into it again. But yes,
what do you think? Needing that constant validation come from? Where's a few places you feel like needing that constant validation comes from that will make you always have to have the best shoes and buy the latest car and be on trend? What do you think that validation comes from?
I think it could stem from the struggle of getting there, or the journey of becoming. Because you work so hard to reach milestones, you work so hard to achieve these goals and do all the things that when you get there, depending on your filter and where you are in your emotional intelligence journey, there may be a desire to beat the chest, or if you've done that out of survival mode, now it's a matter of, well, I gotta make sure I never go back, and so you revert. It can come from
so your biggest fear has come upon you.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, is this real? Will I make it? Is this a fluke? Just all the things that come to shake your confidence, or again, to be lifted up with pride to say, I did this, it was all me, like God wasn't there the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also like your environment. We even talk about this. People don't have to do this anymore, I don't think. I don't know. Y'all let me know.
Yeah.
But you remember how people used to wake up late, early in the morning or whatever and get in line for the next Jordans? You know what I'm saying? But in our community, we will spend more money on Jordans and bundles than we will on mostly anything else. And then when we become affluent, new money, you can always tell because we immediately want to become flashy. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I love our culture. I love our culture. I don't care what nobody say. I like to laugh loud. I like to push people while they laughing. I like to hit stuff while I'm laughing. I like to knock all this stuff off this table while I'm laughing.
I'm laughing from loud.
I like dancing. I like some loud music. I like I'm from Florida. You know what I'm saying?
Florida.
I'm from the 863, but the 305 raised me a little bit in the 99s and the 2000s. Like all of that kind of happened. You know what I'm saying? So I love the culture. Don't get me wrong. I'm not one of those people who think that proper is supposed to be when you act like other cultures. Okay. Proper is when you are more quiet, when you're more demure, as the definition goes. But I am a person who I want to ask y'all this. This is my question that I would ask, right? You got to ask yourself when you're making these purchases, is the purchase that I'm making right now, is it based off of purpose or is it based off of pressure?
Wow.
The purchase that I'm making right now, is it based off of purpose or is it based off of pressure? Because one of the things that we start practicing with our boys, they don't care for much. They don't care about name brand stuff too much. They do now, like little Eddie. He want that pair of Jordans, okay? But can you make some A's or something? You know what I'm saying? Can you make an A? Can you do something like that?
Come around the code.
Benjamin, he does like video games and stuff like that. He really does like that stuff, and he likes the newest ones. He's a techie. He's into it. Like he's into it. But like we like to create memories with them. We like to give them experiences. Right? And like if I blow all of my money on experience, not blow it, but this is what we're spending it on, they will never forget that. Mm-hmm. They will always have that as a thing. They will also become more cultured. Yeah. They will also become more aware of the world. This world that we live in, these little square miles or whatever, these little blocks.
Yeah.
They don't, no longer is that their world, and it expands who they are and what they're able to tap into and what they believe in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like shifting our mind from stuff and shifting it into a place where we understand, they're experiencing something that we never dreamed to experience. I feel like that is a great shift, and it's something that we should, afford our children. And so moving into that, just thinking about spending the money where you're supposed to spend it, spending the money in a new way, getting a new mindset to spend the money and all of that. We're going to tap into the diligence of this money thing, the diligence of this thing. And so faith, focus, and financial discipline.
Yeah.
Faith, focus, and financial discipline is something that we cannot stop practicing.
Yeah. Just because it's our holiday season.
Just because Santa Claus sitting in that mall.
Okay.
Unless you're going back to the North Pole with him where he's going to pay all the bills.
Don't let Santa take your savings. Come on, somebody.
Because Jesus is the reason, for the season.
Sorry.
All right. So let's talk about spiritual discipline, right? And money management. The spiritual discipline of money management.
Okay.
What does that mean? What does that look like? Spiritual discipline of money management.
I mean, looking at doesn't have to, or the exercise on your faith doesn't have to replace your financial planning, right? But it can actually fuel your financial planning. And the fact that you can let what you have going on vision-wise motivate, all right, or guide what you're wanting to do in this holiday season for other people, for yourself, and for those that are connected to the vision that you're birthing.
But you got to kind of be tapped in.
You got to be tapped.
You got to be tapped in if you're going to actually start planning according to what the Lord has told you.
Correct. Because you can't just throw out vision out the door because you're in a season of celebration. Like, that don't work like that. It's the thing of kind of coming full circle. We work toward execution of vision to do it, and then as we celebrate, we remember what was done, and then we get instructions about what's next. It's this, I was going to say circle of life, but it's this cyclical ideal. It's like it has come to pass, right? We've done the thing, as the next thing comes up to bat for us to execute that and move on.
What would you think? Okay, so with the idea that we got where there is vision, there is provision, right? Mm-hmm. Where there's vision, there's provision. What do you think of the concept or the idea that a visionary doesn't necessarily need more money than they have in their hand right now?
Okay.
What do you think of that? Because for me, I've been needing some money, and so I think when I think of an idea like that, I think that's garbage in myself. But when I start thinking of the concept and or the elements of this particular conversation, it becomes a very interesting concept.
Well, it is, and I think keeping in mind that a lack of resources in hand doesn't diminish a lack of resourcefulness in person, right? Because you can be resourceful without having resources and still be able to execute vision. Because just because the money ain't in my hand doesn't mean it's not in the hand of somebody who God has given me favor with.
Yeah, and that's ooh, you said something. That's the word, favor.
Yeah, favor.
Favor has been bubbling over in my spirit.
Come on, favor.
In this season.
And this ideal.
And the reason why is because favor is better than life according to the word of God. And when you have favor, there are some rooms that you're supposed to walk into that you don't have enough money. Yeah. You don't have enough experience.
You don't need funds for favor. You don't.
But you can have the favor to get into those spaces.
To get into funds. Come on. Yes.
You can have the favor to get into those spaces, and it's just more. It's more important than we have played it up to be. Because we're in that grind generation. Grind. Get it from the muscle. Get it from the dirt.
When you've postured yourself to, like you said, get it from the dirt, and everything that you have comes from your work. And I think the idea of being self-made has been so celebrated that people either forget God or forget the fact that you didn't do everything on your own. Somebody helped you get where you are. And so we can't forget the fact that we didn't do everything on our own to reach purpose, to achieve vision.
And then it's a catch-22 because it's kind of like the money isn't the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Favor is amazing and it's awesome. The Bible says that you should have favor with God and with man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, give and it shall come back to you.
Yep.
Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over shall men give unto your bosom. And so that's favor with God, favor with man, out of generosity, right? Because like we said, we want to make sure that our giving in this season is out of generosity and not out of guilt. And I'm talking about out of a godly generosity, out of hearing God say, this is where I want you to put your money and how I would love for you to spend it. Because we like to think that we give him the 10% and the 90% is ours. But that's crazy talk.
So crazy talk.
Let me tell you what belongs to God.
All of it.
100%. 100%. Because he can do more with your 90% than you could ever do with 900%.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And so you put yourself in the position where you have to understand that yes, you want the favor to come. Yes, you don't need as much money, but the money that you do have, the things that you do have, you want it to be structured. You want to be disciplined with it. You want it to have a directive. Because you got to speak to your money and tell it where to go.
Correct.
And you got to speak to your money sometime and tell it how to come.
Listen.
Now I want to talk about the affirmation. So you know what I'm saying?
That's another.
Because I'm so happy and blessed now
that's how money has.
It's in love with me. It just runs me down, takes over. You know what I'm saying? But if your money, the truth of the matter is, if your money is messy, your vision is going to be messy as well. If it's messy and all over the place and it doesn't have a directive, it has no direction, it has no instruction, it's going to go wherever it wants to go.
Wow.
You have to give this money a end point, an end game.
Correct.
Give it something to do, because if you
dollar
don't,
needs a job.
Say it again.
Every dollar needs a job.
Say it again.
Every dollar needs a job.
Every dollar needs a job. Every dollar needs a job.
Because some dollars' jobs is to execute the relationship you have with one of your vendors, meaning pay your expenses. Some money's job is to go out and find new friends, right? That's your investment dollars. Some dollars' job is to just sit here and make sure that the other dollars know where to come back home, so they can identify what home is. Like, we just appreciate the dollars staying with us.
Absolutely.
You know? Reverend Knight used to say it like this: money is like a fine woman.
That's what Reverend Knight said.
A high quality woman. If you treat her right, she gonna come around. If you take care of your money, save your money, invest your money, and that money comes back, it's going to continue to stay around, come around. You'll see it plenty. It's gonna
because
take
a
care of
fine
you.
woman ain't going to just keep coming around with you treating it wrong. You ain't talking to it.
You always talk about it. I just need you for a rainy day, or I only need you for emergencies, or I only.
I wish this we can't say that.
Get him out of there, woman of God. Get him out of there.
I wish a brother would.
I wish a brother would.
I wish a brother would.
Shenanigans.
But that's a good example when you start thinking of it.
Because, I mean, that's what we say. This is my emergency fund. What person wants to only be called during emergencies? I mean, Stevie Wonder wrote it, but part-time, that don't feel good to be a part-time. That was
part-time.
Make sure I get them mixed up sometimes. I just,
look.
Don't part-time me.
And here's the thing.
Full-time me. Huh.
Well, here's the thing, too. I think that speaks to relational intelligence. And we have to realize that we are in relationship
with money. Wow.
You're in a relationship. Now, whether your relationship is good or whether it's
Come on
sucks, you know what I'm saying? Like, whether your relationship is good or whether it's just garbage.
Good. I'm marinating on that now.
You're in what you say? That's so ugly. You're in a relationship with money, right? And no, we don't love it. It does love us though.
Come on.
But the love of money, the root of all evil. Yeah. We understand that, but we also quoted it so wrong for so many years, just saying that money is the root of all evil. I need for you to put it in perspective, because the Bible says money answers all things. Now that's in your Bible. That's the book for me.
Basic instruction. Yeah,
basic instruction before leaving Earth. Okay, so. This Bible says that money will answer all things. You have some things that you need to get into. You have a part of your vision that needs to be funded. You have to there's wisdom in this Bible concerning money. It talks about how you bring a gift to those who are superior to you. There are strategies. You think these business strategies just popped out of nowhere? No, the Bible talks about giving a gift to those who are superior. The Bible talks about giving in generosity to those who are quote unquote inferior or down and out. The Bible talks about giving from a place of generosity.
And that's for me. I know as we're transitioning to this next portion of this is that why the holiday season is really taking a pivot for me. And I don't know, it's because we done been through a lot of stuff, or we crossed 35 and you just realize that stuff can leave your life whether you want it to or not, and you get real grateful. And I think it's important that we remember to express our gratitude in this season by making sure that we go out of our way to help somebody else. And like you gotta do some type of giving. It's just in there. Generosity to the what you was alluding.
You broke down it's a lot. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot.
And it should be like a dove.
Yes.
To us.
And no matter what, you gotta remember, man, somebody always has it worse than you. And I know that's real layman's term and laid back, but listen,
it could have
gone another way, right?
With no food,
that part, and
no clothes.
That's how I sing it.
Just another number with a tragic end. That's my song. Yeah, but he didn't see fit.
You finna really?
To let none of these things be. So, okay, every day by your power, you keep on keeping me
out. Thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me. Bum, bum. So, giving from clarity, not guilt, is the idea I want to make sure that we just chat about for a few minutes, because getting into a place where you've done so much for the year, you get into the season, and everybody's hitting you with the idea of making sure you contribute to whatever efforts that you're a part of.
Yeah. Just
making sure that as you're doing the giving portion of your vision, that you're doing what God said, only that, and nothing more.
And also changing your mind about what giving is.
Yes.
Because a lot of times while we're suffering in the holidays and we're giving out of guilt, is because we feel guilty because we don't have what we think we're supposed to be giving. You don't got it to give.
Wow.
You ain't got it to give now. But you're feeling guilty about not being able to do it. But if you shift your mindset about what giving is, you can go into a place of abundance really quickly. If you go from a place of lack into a place of abundance if you just shift your mindset concerning what is giving. And so for us in this holiday season, y'all, we got Taboo, we got Uno, we got Phase 10, we got karaoke, we got them Christmas trees that been out in the garage. We got, why don't you give people a good time?
Okay, come on.
Why don't you give people a good meal? One thing we know how to do is we know how to whip it up real good.
Come on.
Okay? My son, he gonna whip up one of them good old pound cakes. I can whip y'all up. Like, why don't we learn how to give of our time, of ourselves, of our love? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's one thing about rebranding giving in your mind, and that's so good, honey, is because if there is a need to make up for time, this season is one of the best times to do it, because you can literally rack up on quality hours and quality time with your friends and family during this season.
Something that I've really admired over the years. Shout out to D. Renee and the Kids Kitchen and Verdell. You know what I'm saying? Over there, their family, they cook so much food.
Yeah.
And so what they would do is they would cook so much food, but they don't like want to fool around with all of the leftovers. And then they would cook extra food and they would box all of that up and they would go out and just give it to the homeless and give it to the homeless. Sometimes it is the excess of what you have that you've been so used to just eating leftovers for until the people got to tell you, if you don't throw this away, you're going to jail. Maybe you could box that up and start just go find somebody. Maybe you can box up some of it and go and find this, because y'all know during this season they didn't people are panicking about SNAP,
Yeah.
that it's gone, the resources are gone from the government.
Ooh, it's
I
crazy.
want to encourage everybody to get to the place where we shift and we look at that even in another way, but that's another episode.
Okay.
But those types of things, which are generosity, you know, we sing. My whole family, we sing.
Yes.
We could go around our
As you saw
neighborhood
earlier.
and we could just start caroling.
Caroling
We can do
something, man.
We can go from door to door Christmas caroling with just our family. We could do that, spreading the cheer
Okay. Even
and
Benjamin
joy.
may get involved with that.
He might hit a little cowbell, but he ain't stunting us. The boy say, "You people sing too much."
You people make too much noise.
So yeah, I just want to challenge the cultural idea that holiday giving is supposed to leave you broke.
Correct.
And now you got to build the bank all the way back up. That's not how this has to be. It's not how this has to go at all.
Doesn't have to work this way.
Yeah. And so true givers, we give out of vision. We don't give out of the need for validation.
Correct.
We don't give out of the need for keeping up with the Joneses. We don't give out from guilt. We give out from generosity.
Correct.
We give out from generosity, right? And so let's talk to the people about what it looked like to practically build out
Okay.
a budget.
Okay.
Right? A budget that would, because y'all watching this now, but I know I see you. I see you. I see you over here.
That's all.
And I see you over here. I know I see you there. I see you everywhere.
I know.
You've already started spending all of your money. So the bag might already be blown, honey. It might be a little bit too late. Do you believe it?
Too late.
But what I want to do is, let's give the people like something they can do in the next 90 days, right? To actually rebuild up their bag, like rebuild the bag and all of that kind of stuff. And can I start with the first thing I think that
What's
should
that?
happen?
Go
Because
ahead.
I want you to be going to those practical things, maybe numbers. This man, he loves a good number. But I will tell y'all that I think the first thing that y'all need to do, and that all of us have to do during this time, is we have to fix our eyes on the vision.
Okay.
That's the first part of this budget that you're about to make up.
Okay.
So my thing is, practically, you need to write this vision out. Where do you want to end up at the end of the year?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Where do you want to end up at the end of the year?
Yeah.
And then reverse engineer. Y'all getting, remember I said on the first episode y'all was gonna get tea sometimes, okay? This is some of that tea.
Yeah.
You want to put on paper, put inside of your Excel spreadsheet, whatever you want to do, where you want to end up at the end of the year. And after you put where you want to end up at the end of the year, you need to do some reverse engineering. I love doing reverse engineering with my coaching clients because that way you have timestamps on everything that should be happening along the way in order to get you to the big goal.
Okay.
So that's what reverse engineering is. And I want to encourage you to start there at the reverse engineering spot. And then after they do that, just a skeleton. You don't got to go into deep detail because the man is a genius, okay? He ain't going to toot his own horn, but toot. Okay? So what does it look like after they have their mind made up of what they need to actually do and work towards? How do they do it?
Well, looking at the ability to kind of create a framework and just a simple idea of taking that number and let's say, as you said, building toward the end of the year or a year, dividing that by 12, because since there's 12 months in a year, you break that down. So now you have a 30-day situation that you're looking at. And then from there, deciphering what action do I need to apply over the course of those 30 days to make sure that I can hit those metrics and that mark. So one of the cool things that we've done in the past to get ready for the holiday season is that we set a number, right? For, okay, this is what we want the holiday spending to look like. And, we'll get together, husband and wife, and we'll look at, okay, well, this is what we made, this is what we kind of doing, this is what we've done for the year. So the end of the year can kind of look like this. And this would be experiences, trips, good time, parties, all that stuff. We're looking at it. So let's say we set a budget for $6,000 for the holiday spending. And I'm just throwing out a number. It could be $1,000, could be $10,000. For some of y'all big timers, it could be $60,000 because you got to hold down the holiday party for the office and the family and the friends and the everything. So looking at $6,000 over 90 days, that's like, all right, how am I going to put away an extra $2,000 a month so that at the 90-day mark, toward the end of the year, I have that extra $6,000 ready to go so that I can keep to that framework. And so that allows you to stay within vision because you said, all right, we are allotting those dollars for this season, and that's it. And when you write the vision, you make it plain, and you say 6,000, that's what we wrote down, that's what we make it plain. Those that see it can run with it. Mm-hmm. And we're going to run to 6,000 and stop. Come on, somebody. And not go past it.
Let me tell you something, too. I know that y'all heard this man say $2,000 a month extra, and y'all was like, what the heck he talking about? Because some people, that is their whole income.
Okay.
So for some people, that, no,
okay,
let me say.
I'm about to say,
I'm going to talk about
I
you.
won't,
I'm going to talk about you in your face. So, but that is, for some people, their entire income, and we know that. So, in knowing that, it's kind of like, I remember when he first talked to me about budgeting, mm-hmm. Your girl was like, okay, so what you're saying is we need to cut the cable off, we need to send the car back, we need to, I was thinking of elimination. Let me tell you, I was eliminating everything. I was like, we can stop eating out, we need to buy coffee for this house, we can stop going over to Starbucks, we need to do this. God. And he said, stop, woman of God. At some point, the bottom is the bottom. You're going to have to spend something. Money, yeah. And so he said, why did you immediately go to what you can stop spending or cut away instead of thinking of how you can make more money?
Correct.
And we said that it was the biggest aha moment in our little budget.
To my detriment, because Lord Jesus, now it's like, well, just go make it and we got it.
Look, because let's go chop, let's go make this money. Let's go.
chop. What the?
Let's go make this money.
Let's go make
because
this money.
Because that was just a great concept and it broke something off of me, right? Yeah. And so
it's very freeing to know that you can control your upside just as much as you can try to dictate your downside.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so we start looking at Moses. What is in your hand?
Yeah.
Moses, what's in your hand? What could you make? What could you create? What could you make happen instead of what you need to cut off? Correct. You know what I'm saying? That was a lack mindset in and of itself. And for some of us, it is like, this is the thing about growing. When you grow to the next level, when you stay stuck there longer than God tells you to stay stuck there, or when you use a strategy longer than God tells you to use a strategy, it becomes a bondage. Yeah. It becomes a place of lack again. Yeah. It becomes a place of imprisonment again. Yeah. It used to be freedom. Yeah. But now it's not. Yeah. And so now we're looking at all of these things. So while you doing that, and we getting out of these holiday traps.
Okay, holiday traps.
We want you to just assess, where do these vision vampires, where do they exist? What are these habits? What are these spending habits? What are these agreements that I've come into?
Come on.
What is this environment that I'm in? What has become a vision vampire sucking the resources out of your hand and out of your life?
Man.
That's what I want you to do. That's your goal way. Right. Yes, do this budget. Yes, get yourself together, getting ready for the beginning of the year. But I want you to identify those vision vampires. That's my call to action. That's what I want you to do today. And as we wrap this thing up, I want you to just consider this. A visionary is always going to give from a place of abundance, excess, and overflow. Because we shift and we give from the place that is tied to vision. We give from the place that is tied to vision. There is no guilt when you give from the place that is tied to vision. So this is Tia and Eddie Crockett. This has been Coffee, Cash, and Christ. For every single pour.
Yeah, is rich with faith, lace, and alignment. Love y'all. God bless your heart and all your parts. We'll see you next time.